You listen to the radio show? Wow. Yeah. I do repeat myself. Do I repeat myself? I really do.
You try it out on us and then you use it.
Have I? See, what happens when you get older, you repeat yourself. And let me give you one story. So I go in and I'm recruiting, and we had gone in like 2 or 3 homes, and I go into the home, and there's a story I like to tell that kind of makes a point of how we do this. And it's a funny story, and I told the story early, and they laughed, and it was really good, and we got going, and it went a little longer than I thought, so, and then by accident, I told the story again. And they laughed, and we walked out, and I can't remember who was with me, but they said, you know, you told the story twice. And I go, you're kidding me. No, you did it twice. And I called the mom, and I apologized, and I said, why didn't you stop me? She said, it was pretty funny. I liked hearing it again.
Did you get that later?
I can't remember. We probably, like many, we probably lost them.
Cal, along those lines, have you personally had to kind of reboot?
Yeah, what I told them yesterday is, here's what's happened to me personally. I'm expecting them to be farther than they're ready to be. And there's an expectation, which brings a frustration, like, you should know this. Well, they don't know it. I literally got to start coaching the games as though they're practice until we figure it out. The issue is not what's happening offensively. It has nothing to do with our offense, what we're doing. We're scoring enough. We need to shoot it better. But it's hard to be confident on offense when you're getting beat down on defense, and you get beat on a dribble, and you get beat on a three. It makes you tentative on offense. It just does. You could say whatever it is, and it's this and that. I've done this 30 years. We have to get better defensively, and that's what we're working on. So I was talking to one of my friends, and he said to me, part of the reason, he said to me, you said this exact same thing a year ago. And then I thought back, like, where were we defensively a year ago? How was Quad A guarding? How was Hami guarding? How was Kevin Knox guarding? How was PJ guarding? How was Nick? Do you want me to keep going? Wenyan? We had one guy that was really guarding. Shea. And the rest of us weren't guarding anybody, and it was driving me crazy, if you remember. And I just, when the guy told me, I bust out laughing, and I said, you know what? You're right. We're in the same position we were in. I should have known this early. I should have seen it in the summer. I got enamored like everybody else, and now it's how do we get better defensively? And it's showing them tape, and it's every day, and it's a process. And I just, you know, the question I have, is there ever going to be an easy year for me? Like, just 1 year be a team that I can just sit there and, like, ride. I mean, every year is a grind, and sometimes I forget. But yesterday, this is a great group of young people. And yesterday they're going to do what we ask them to do. So be right. And then hold them accountable. And I, you know, put my head in the sand or whatever you want to say. And I always say, don't get mad at these kids. They made a commitment to come here and play for us and play here in the hardest place it is to play basketball. Everybody, I can't wait to play that every game. We're going to kill that. I mean, well, you don't play us for 3 months. I mean, that's every game. And they chose to come here under this spotlight to be coached and be challenged and know you're here to get better. As an individual player, you're here to learn about being a better teammate. You're here to learn about what the better angels within you look like. You're here for all that. It's hard. We're not just saying play loose and play and we're going to be better. And they chose to come here. And that's why I tell our fans, don't get on these kids. If you want to be mad at me. They're going to do what I ask them to do or what I accept that they're doing.
What's the standard defensively? What do you want the other team to shoot no better than?
Who? Just how about this? The standard defensively, let's just be better than yesterday. And then let's look at the last game and let's get better. Here's again, we don't stay in a stance, we don't bounce, we don't anticipate, and we don't play with hands like we should because of our length. And we've been working on it. It's hard for us to stay in front of people because we come up out of a stance. We're never ready to go. We're never anticipating what the guy's doing. We're never helping the helper. All stuff that it just takes time. Now, what a lot of people do, if you have to teach a lot of young guys, you just go zone. You just say, I don't care. I'm going to play zone. I just don't want to be that guy. And maybe I will be. But I want the issue becoming playing zone. And I told him this. We could back our defense up and be better. Back it up. Don't stretch it out. Let's just get from 19, 20 feet and in, and let's just play heels on the three-point line. And let's play tighter, and we'll be quicker to, we're not so spread out. There's a problem with doing that. Normally, they're going to take 18 to 20 seconds to shoot the ball now. That means you have less minutes with the ball, less possessions, less shots, and I went around the room. Anybody want to give up 3 or 4 of your shots? Oh, you don't think you will, but, so this guy won't shoot any now. Is that how this goes? We got to learn and understand why we're doing this and how we play. Got to be disruptive some. But you can't take chances. You just, it's discipline. And guess what young players never have? Discipline. And guess what I have to have personally? Stay with the process. Have discipline. Don't lose your mind. Don't get frustrated. These guys got to know I'm for them. And if they ever get to where they don't think I'm for them and that's their perception, then I'm wrong.
How often do you stop the tape and guys' hands are down here?
No, we stop the tape. No, you got it backwards. When a guy puts his hands up, we stop the tape. Look, boop, there's one.
It's easier to count those.
Oh, yeah. But again, I mean, we're in practice now. Every drill we're doing, if your hands go down, do it again. Do it again. What happens when they get in the game? Slippage. But here's what I said to him. We're doing enough offensively, and we're still not clicking perfectly. But offensive rebounds, free throw line, efficiencies. We're throwing about between 275 and 300 passes a game. We're getting guys to move. We're doing a lot of good stuff. This should be the best three-point shooting team I've had here. We're not there yet, but this has the ability, including our big guys, best shooting team overall I've had. Well, let's get to that. Best post-up team I had until the end of 14 when Carl was going crazy and Dakari, and then we could throw to a couple guys. But this team right now is ahead as a post team. It's all take pride in this defense, man. Take pride in stopping people. Understand, watch tape, and work on yourself and us collectively. But I'm just telling you, I've come to, for me, reflecting and looking and saying, how do I do this? It is going to be a process. And I've got to understand that, defensively, we just got to hold them more accountable every time out and hope we're better game to game and hope they start taking more pride in it. And we got good kids. It's just they've never, the discipline of a possession, of you personally staying, and then if one guy breaks down, the whole defense breaks down. It takes 5 guys being disciplined at one time. And I told them the last 8 minutes of the game, tell me who wants to be in and defend. I don't care if we score no baskets. Just don't let them get one. Who wants to play now? Well, I got to shoot. Well, then you're not coming. I need to know who's going to guard. Who's going to guard somebody?
Cal Ashton was a guy who, that was his reputation. Guard, don't care about offense. Has he been up to that standard on defense?
He off the ball? No. On the ball, yeah. Like he could play, he could do some stuff that Shea did. Off the ball, he's like the rest of the guys. He'll stop. Shot goes up. We're not rebounding. But that's where they all are. But I'll tell you that, on the ball defense, he's as good as we have. He really is. And there'll be games I put him in to just say, shut that guy out.
The net ratings came out. You guys were 61st. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Too early.
That setting?
Somebody told me there was a team that was 5 or 8 that they're like, what? It's too early. Don't care.
John, you described yourself last week as a recruiter as being overrated.
I've always said that. That's one, well, then they've never heard me talk about me. I said it when I was at UMass, I said it when I was at Memphis, and I've said it here.
How would you characterize yourself as a coach?
It wouldn't matter how I characterize myself. It would be what anybody else thinks, and, you know, it's probably across the board. At the end of the day, what we do as coaches will be evaluated 30, 40 years from now, 50 years. None of us will be here. You won't be here, I won't be here, and they'll look back and what kind of job did he do with the kids he had, and how was he with the programs in the state that he was in, and, you know, you'd be evaluated back. And right now, stay in the moment, keep moving.
John, you're playing a winless team tomorrow. How do you hope that does not play on the guys?
Well, you say winless, but again, they have nothing to lose. It was a 5-point game with West Virginia. It's a pretty good team. At halftime, it was 5. It was like 9 late, and then 2 or 3 threes, and it spreads out. You know, I've watched enough tape. They play fast. They play around a post player. I'll be honest. I think King does an unbelievable job, but I'm not worried about them. I know they can beat us. If we don't guard, anybody can beat us. So this comes down to let's really guard. They have a 3/4 court trap that's pretty good. They have a good 2-3 zone that they can go to. They're aggressive man-to-man. They've been in almost every game except one. In that game, a kid had 30 points at halftime. Every other game, they've had their chances to win.
One more, guys. Can you motivate those guys with what you mentioned earlier about, you know, we could sag back and let teams bleed the clock and you'll have fewer offensive possessions, but on the flip side, if you play aggressive defense and you can start to disrupt and
Just
create turnovers, that you get more opportunities?
We've talked. Most of the teams I've had here, a lot of our offense is generated off rebounds and steals and bump outs and 50-50 balls, and that's how you generate offense, and that's how a team that did not shoot it and not as skilled as this team had a higher percentage of stuff offensively. But again, this is, you know, when they were in high school and there were stories written about them in their game, did it ever talk about how they defended, or did they just put their points in the game? So-and-so has this many points, this, and then the next story, this many points. Who's the leading scorers? Who are the best defenders in the state? That guy never gets any recognition. They were told not to foul. If you play too hard, you're going to foul, and then you can't be in the game. And then they're here. And then they're not here a long time. And then you got a short period of time. And then I get to where I'm frustrated, and then I'm not having fun coaching. And I got to be in this job and do the job, you got to have a ball every day. You must have fun coaching. And so you almost have to look at, okay, here's where we are, accept it, and let's move from here, and let's just get better. That's the process, and I like my team. These are great guys. I mean, yesterday, they tried everything we were talking about. We did a couple wrinkles of things just so I could look at stuff. You know, we're going to have time after this weekend, and again, I'm not getting ahead of ourselves, but that team we play Sunday is really good. I mean, they're really good, well coached, and they can play. After that, we have some time to really do some stuff. And right now, it's like, let's just get better, you know, and let me coach the games as though it's practice. You know, let's learn from the situations and move from there. Thanks.